Hey guys, so I wanted to introduce you to a therapy technique known as EFT, which EFT stands for Emotional Freedom Technique, which is basically you learn a series of what you do is tap on various points on your body. It's basically like it's sort of a combination of what do you call that, with the needles, acupuncture, and pressure point type thing. Very successful, well, pretty much with anything, but especially with but it's as with any healing modality, it's not necessarily a cure-all or heal-all. But what I am suggesting is try it out, because you can download the free manual from websites like this, EFT manual. It was started by a guy called here, stands for Emotional Freedom Techniques, founded by Gary Craig, 1995. Early forms involve stimulating the acupuncture meridians while tapping on them with the fingertips. That's why it's often called tapping. Often, people call it tapping. But the official sort of name for it is EFT, Emotional Freedom Technique. Now, why I bring this up is I've actually used this. I've actually used it on hypnotherapy clients that I've had in the past, and to very successfully. Now, this specific one, I want to excuse me, a while ago they introduced EFT to vets suffering from there's this Veterans EFT tapping project. Now, when this was established, a lot of vets were, very, very, anybody is usually, when they hear about this, very dubious, skeptical. But what happened was, some vets, with very, very, serious PTSD, and they tried everything. They tried EFT, and the post-traumatic stress that they'd had for years, 5-10 years or more, pretty much left them within a couple of sessions of 10 minutes. And you can teach yourself this, relieve lingering combat stress, help us help our vets. Here, you see, if you press on here, you can hear veteran testimonials of that. So, now I use this pretty much. The other thing is you can pretty much use it for what. If I had to sum it up, what happens is, when you've got memories that have you're basically a charge to them, okay? So you have a memory, you have a flashback, whatever, and you have a charge or whatever. You get angry, you get depression with that memory, or the flashbacks will just pop into your head, and all of a sudden you're in the middle of the action or whatever. It's consequences of that. Maybe shut down your heart, blocked your heart to everybody. You don't want to go outdoors, you're angry, you're depressed, or whatever, you're suicidal, you don't want to do anything. Any or all of the above can be, but as I say, disclaimer with this, just put this in your quiver as another arrow to try out, to aim and target PTSD. Okay, relieve stress. Hold on. Tapping project. Over 2.4 million Americans deployed to Iraq over the past 15 years of ongoing wars. Estimated returned with PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder. That's in addition to the 479,000 Vietnam veterans. Now, you know, they all had, issues like alcohol and drug addiction, mental illness, suicides, spousal abuse, like I've said. Can't keep jobs or relationships, etc. So let's have a look. What is it? Tapping addresses energy imbalances in the body. But like I was saying before, I see that it, as I was trying to explain before, get rid of the negative emotion. So you'll have the memory. So after tapping, a few sessions, one session, everyone reacts differently. You still have the memory, but you will not have the negative emotion, the so-called charge that goes with it. That's usually what happens. So you can look at that memory, and you won't, have the emotion that goes along with it. Now they did some neuro research to postulate that memory, even long-term memory, is not static. Shows that memory, once recorded, must actually reform or reconsolidate. Now, the good thing about EFT is, people go to, like, counseling and that for years, psychotherapy, whatever, for years, and of course that's costing. You can get the EFT manual from here, as I say, for free. There's audio and books. You can go find an EFT practitioner. You can actually get the DVDs. I've got the DVDs. I bought those about, 10 years ago at least. And it's a fairly easy process. You'll probably even find it, online, the process. Like I say, I used it with clients years ago. Give an example. There was a young girl, and a mother came, and obviously I can't name names, but the girl had fallen off her horse, and she didn't want to get. She'd obviously. Now, I'm not in any way equaling this to post-traumatic stress suffered by veterans. Anyway, I'm just giving a quick example. She'd fallen off a horse and didn't want to get back on. She lost all her confidence and didn't want anything to do with horses. Couldn't get back up on a horse. Okay, so I showed her and her mother the EFT. I said, do this at home, and anyway, they did that, and then I don't know. It must have been a couple of weeks later or something. The mother was, very impressed. She said her daughter's got the confidence back. She's up on the horse, and they're using the EFT for other, they've got it in their belt now for whatever comes their way. Okay, so what I suggest, guys, veterans out there, anybody suffering from PTSD, try this. Is it going to, is it going to heal you? Is it guaranteed? No, not at all. Hold on, guys. Okay, guys, so I just quickly set up speakers, so I'll let you guys watch this. It's 7 minutes long. I think you'll find it very interesting, and gives you an indication of the actual tapping process. Okay, now, just a slight warning to young, if you've got any young kids or anything, you might don't use discretion, because there is swearing, and people with post-traumatic stress disorder, so use discretion when watching this video. Okay, guys, and hopefully the sound is okay. So let's go.
The medic that tried to work on King when he got home, and then somebody told me that he killed himself down in Myrtle Beach one weekend because he couldn't take that. and I'm confused. I'm pretty sure it was King who went back to the deuce and a half, and he had to crawl, up there. And when that pile went off, it cut the fucking leg right off.
Why do you think that's true? That you shouldn't be having feelings about it?
Because you drive on, airborne drive on, right?
Okay. Can I do a little bit on that? Even though I have to be perfect?
Even though I have to be perfect.
And I can't show my feelings?
I can't show my feelings.
What am I doing showing my feelings?
What am I doing showing my feelings?
I gotta drive on.
I have to drive on.
No wonder I feel vulnerable.
No wonder I feel vulnerable.
No wonder I have this tightness in my body.
No wonder I have this tightness in my body.
No wonder I feel exposed.
No wonder I feel exposed. I haven't felt this good doing cocaine. I haven't felt this good drinking. I just hope people would just take it, just try it once.
I would say that I've never seen anything that can start with a symptom of very high anxiety, of insomnia, hyperarousal, and have that disappear in the course of a few days' time. That's extraordinary.
And I've tried everything. Medications from doctors, which I don't want to be on. I want to be naturally healthy. And I've tried talking about my problems, but it's just all it does is bring them back up, and I think about it at night.
It's amazing what I was doing with alcohol. Some people would do with like deep drugs.
Yes.
It was like I wake up and I drink the entire day.
And the lack of hope has sent him into, I can't do this life. And I'm gonna go back. I have to go back. I have to re-enlist. That's all I know. That's all I know how to do.
There was a small child walking up to the post and he blew up. He blew up and, arms and legs went everywhere.
How do you feel when you tell me that?
Pretty sick.
I don't know where I'd be if I wasn't able to tackle myself hearing what this young man has had to put up with.
Because hearing the women screaming and the girls, like the children screaming with them and looking at us like, y'all are here, y'all are the reason why my child's dead.
And then helping him take piece by piece, unpack it, and dilute it. And so that was exhilarating because within a day, he's not smoking. He doesn't care about the drinking. And I said to him, well, because we've taken care of what you needed to completely obliterate with alcohol and cigarettes.
So screaming at the women and children, 0.
0. Good. So are they all 0?
Yes.
Brains?
I don't feel guilty for...
No guilt. Okay. Brains splattered all over the floor.
0.
Blood everywhere.
0.
Body parts all over you.
0.
Okay. And it's my fault.
0.
Great. So no nightmares?
No nightmares. Woke up feeling good.
Okay. How is your jaw?
I don't feel any pain.
And the neck that is usually, I know, from the jaw?
Right. It's
Okay.
0.
Okay. How are your hands?
It's better than yesterday.
That is much better. I can see
Yeah.
that. That's the tremor.
Before I did the EFT thing, for me to say, I'm happy, that would be weird for me to say, just to say out loud to myself. And I say it probably 10 times a day.
The dichotomy is so great between what I was when I went in and what I became after I got out, that it's a very, very messy situation inside of my head a lot of times. And I saw this lieutenant trying to move, and I tried to get to the helicopter and grab his foot to see if I couldn't pull him out. But the flames were just too high, and it just burned and basically blew up, and So we sent back the 3 body bags.
I had chosen to leave my husband because he was getting very, almost like a lot of violence. He was threatening to shoot the children on a consistent basis.
Because of the PTSD?
Yes. We'll lie to you because we're afraid of you, not because we want to lie to you or because we hate you. We love you, but if we tell you the truth, you get angry about situations, very angry.
The person comes back with PTSD and it can destroy the family. You have a person now who is not sleeping, who becomes abusive, who becomes addicted to drugs and alcohol. So you have families torn apart.
Maybe it's been too many years. Maybe it's been too long a time. Maybe I've wreaked too much havoc inside of my life and out of my children, my wife, and everybody else around me.
And he's a veteran, and he has had all the symptoms, and we've been in the psych ward for years. I've had therapy, and in 3 days we're talking. And we haven't talked in 5 years, really talked and had a conversation.
I can't emphasize enough how important it is that you can actually feel like a real person again, and not be afraid, and not have to cover up all of your junk every single day of your life.
These men should have their families supporting them on a consistent basis for many years. They shouldn't lose their lives, they shouldn't lose their children, because they serve this country.
So there you go, guys. If the sound hasn't turned out for that, it's too low or whatever, I'll go over it again with this particular video, and hopefully that gives you some indication of how effective it can be. I mean, they talked about in there of years going through the normal, psychiatrists, etc., and nothing worked. So if you or your loved ones are in that position where you've tried everything, why not give this a go, guys? And good luck. And if you do try it, I'd love to hear how you go, especially any not just vets, anybody with PTSD or whatever. That's the other thing. Once you've even if you haven't got PTSD, you could try it on a myriad of pretty much anything to do with an emotional charge. Try it on any even physical issues. Just learn about it and then try it, guys.